Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Congenital anomalies of female genital tract are not just anatomical variations, they can significantly affect fertility, menstruation, and pregnancy outcomes. In this video, we will explore ESHRE, ESGE classification of female genital tract congenital anomalies in a simplified and clinically relevant way. Welcome to On Obscene Gynae. Congenital malformations of female genital tract are defined as deviation from normal anatomy resulting from embryological maldevelopment of Mullerian paramesonephric ducts. Its prevalence is 4 to 7%. Here we have new classification system. In class 0, we have the normal uterus, but there is anomaly in the cervix. In class 1, dysmorphic uterus. Main subtypes are T-shaped or infantile, and the coexisting anomaly include C0 normal, C1 septate, and C2 double normal. Class 3 is septate uterus, which can be partial or complete. It includes C3 with unilateral aplasia or dysplasia, C4 with aplasia or dysplasia. Class 3 is diffused uterus, including diffuse septi, partial or complete. Associated anomalies in vagina. V0 is with normal vagina. Class 4 is unilaterally formed uterus, which can be the one having rudimentary horn with cavity or rudimentary horn without cavity. Coexisting anomaly include V1, which is longitudinal, non-obstructing vaginal septum. V2 is longitudinal, obstructing vaginal septum, and V3 is transverse vaginal septum. V4 is vaginal aplasia. Class 5 include aplastic or dysplastic uterus. The main subtypes are rudimentary horn with cavity, rudimentary horn without cavity. Class 6 is the one which is unclassified malformation. Now, due to their prevalence and clinical significance, a reliable classification system of uterine anomalies is essential for appropriate management. Effective categorization facilitate accurate diagnosis and optimal treatment, while also enhancing our understanding of their pathologies. Until now, 3 main classification systems have been proposed for the classification of female genital tract anomalies, although attempts at categorization began much earlier. These include the American Fertility Society System, AFS, currently known as American Society for Reproductive Medicine, or ASRM classification. The second one is that of the Embryological Clinical Classification System, ECCS, of genitourinary malformation. And the third one is Vagina, Cervix, Uterus, Adnexa, and Associated Malformation, or vacuum system, which is based on tumor node metastasis, principle used in oncology. Now, recognizing the clinical significance of the female genital tract anomalies, the European Society of Human Reproduction and Embryology and the European Society for Gynecological Endoscopy established a joint working group named as CONUTA, which included congenital uterine anomalies. The primary objective of this group was to develop a new updated classification system. Now we'll talk about the strategies for development of new system. The development of new ESHRE or ESGE classification system by CONUTA working group included these steps. First of all, scientific work for design of new classification system. Secondly, a Delphi procedure for consensus assessment. Here we have the ESHRE ESGE classification system, which included class UO normal uterus. Class U1 included dysmorphic uterus. Class U2 septate uterus. Class U3 bicorporeal uterus. And class U4 included hemi-uterus. Class 5 included aplastic uterus. Design of the new system main concept. The ESGE classification system has these general characteristic. First of all, anatomy forms the basis of systemic categorization of anomalies. Deviation of the normal uterine anatomy forms the basis for the design of the main class. Anatomical variations within the main class expressing different degrees of uterine deformity and having clinical significance forms the basis for the design of main subclass. Cervical and vaginal anomalies are classified in independent supplementary subclasses. The anomalies are categorized into classes and subclasses of the system according to the increasing severity of anatomical deviation. The less severe variants are placed at the beginning, while more severely deformed types are placed at the end. The severity increases progressively. For the sake of simplicity, an extremely detailed subclassification is avoided. Anatomical variations of uterine, cervical, and vaginal anomalies are grouped into subclasses based on clinical significance of the abnormality. Class UO incorporates all cases with a normal uterus. A normal uterus is any uterus with straight or curved interostitial line, internal indentation at the fundal midline not exceeding 50% of uterine wall thickness. Key principle: absolute measurement, for example 5 mm indentations are avoided. Uterine deformities are defined by proportions of uterine anatomical landmarks. Class U1 include dysmorphic uterus, which include all cases with normal external uterine outline but an abnormally shaped uterine cavity, excluding septate uterus. Class U1 is further subdivided into three categories. Class U1A is T-shaped uterus characterized by a narrow uterine cavity due to thickened lateral uterine wall with corpus to cervix ratio of approximately 2/3 of the uterine corpus and 1/3 of the cervix. Class U1B or uterus infantilis is characterized also by narrow uterine cavity without lateral wall thickening. Class U1C include minor abnormalities with fundal indentations and less than 50% of wall thickness. Class U2 means septate uterus. A septate uterus has normal uterine outline but an abnormal resorption of the midline septum. The key features include normal external uterine outline, midline septum exceeding 50% of uterine wall thickness, partial or complete division of the uterine cavity. Septum may partially or completely divide the uterine cavity. In some cases, the septum may extend to involve the cervix or vagina. Class U2 has got two divisions. Class U2A is partial septate uterus, in which the septum partially divides the uterine cavity, and class U2B, which is complete septate uterus. The septum completely divides the uterine cavity and septum up to the level of internal cervical os. Class U3 is bicorporeal uterus. It is defined as all uterine fusion defects along with abnormal external fundal contour. The key diagnostic features include external midline fundal indentation, and indentation is more than 50% of the uterine wall thickness. There is partially or completely divided corpus. It may involve cervix and vagina. When we assess the cavity appearance, we find internal midline indentation, divided uterine cavity, and external defect differentiates from septate. Class U3 or bicorporeal uterus is further divided into class U3A, which is partial bicorporeal uterus characterized by an external fundal indentation partially dividing the uterine corpus above the level of the cervix, and class U3B, which is complete bicorporeal uterus characterized by external fundal indentation. Class U3 is characterized by the presence of an absorption defect in addition to the main fusion defect. Class U4 is in fact the hemi-uterus, means unilaterally formed uterus. Hemi-uterus is in fact due to uterine developmental problems. Contralateral side may be incompletely formed or absent. A formation defect separate from aplastic uterus contains a fully developed functional uterine hemicavity. It has got important reproductive and clinical implications. Class U4 is further divided into class U4A, which is hemi-uterus with a rudimentary functional cavity. Communicating and non-communicating rudimentary horns are there. Class U4B is hemi-uterus without rudimentary functional cavity or non-functional horn or aplastic horn. The complications include hematometra or ectopic pregnancy in rudimentary horn, and laparoscopic removal is recommended. Class U5 is aplastic uterus, which is in fact the complete absence of developed uterine cavity. The types of aplastic uterus include agenesis with no cavities, rudimentary horns with cavity, rudimentary horns without cavity. Management challenges. Treatment of rudimentary horns with a cavity remains unclear. Associated anomalies include vaginal aplasia and MRKH. Most commonly, vaginal aplasia occur as a part of MRKH. V5 is aplastic uterus divided based on the presence or absence of functional cavity or rudimentary horn. Class U5A is aplastic uterus with a rudimentary functional cavity, bilateral or unilateral functional horns. In class U5B, there is aplastic uterus without rudimentary cavity. These conditions are associated with the pelvic pain and hematocavity, often requiring surgical treatment. Class U6 is reserved for uterine anomalies that cannot be classified into other 5 categories. This class is created to maintain clarity of classification system and include defects from formation, fusion, or absorption. Ectopic or duplication anomalies fall into this class. Now we will discuss the definition or coexisting cervical anomalies. Subclass CO is the one having normal uterus, normal cervical development and anatomy. Subclass C1 is the one with septate cervix, which include all cases of cervical absorption defects, and it is characterized by normally formed externally rounded cervix with the presence of cervical septum. Subclass C2 is the one with a double cervix. It includes all cases of cervical fusion defect. It is characterized by the presence of 2 distinct externally rounded cervices, and these 2 cervices may be completely separated or partially fused. This anomaly may be associated with a complete bicorporeal uterus classified as class U3B or C2, corresponding to what was formerly described as uterus didelphys. Subclass C3 is unilateral cervical aplasia, which is characterized by the development of only one side of the cervix. Contralateral cervix is either absent or rudimentary. It is associated with a class U4 uterine anomalies. This represents a severe obstructive Mullerian anomaly. There is complete bicornuate uterus with unilateral cervical aplasia. Subclass C4 is the one with cervical aplasia. It includes all cases of complete cervical aplasia as well as severe cervical formation defects. It is characterized either by complete absence of the cervical tissue or by the presence of severely malformed cervical tissue, such as cervical cord, cervical obstruction, and cervical fragmentation. So this group allows classification of all obstructive genital tract anomalies caused by cervical defects. Now we will talk about coexisting vaginal anomalies. Subclass VO is the one with a normal vagina. Normal vaginal anatomy is there. In subclass V1, there is longitudinal non-obstructive septum. In subclass V2, there is longitudinal obstructing septum. In subclass V3, there is transverse septum or imperforate hymen. In subclass V4, there is vaginal aplasia. Here we have classification of uterine anomalies according to ESHRE or ESGE working group. We have UO, the one with a normal uterus. U1 is the one with the dysmorphic uterus, V2 septate uterus, V3 bicorporeal uterus, U4 hemi-uterus, U5 aplastic uterus, and U6 unclassified malformation. So understanding the classification of the uterine anomalies is the first step towards accurate diagnosis and better patient care. When we understand anatomy clearly, we manage confidently and treat effectively. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to AAUN Gynae for more simplified and clinically relevant content. Also follow our Facebook page AAUN Gynae to stay updated with the latest academic discussions and learning material. Thank you for watching. Keep learning and keep growing.